This is my journey.
In many ways, it all starts here. At least this is where our emotional needs start kicking into gear. Now this isn't one of those journeys into your childhood psyche. I just want you to understand some of the emotional needs that have helped shape this need for significance you're currently feeling. You see, our first need, before we get to this place where we want to matter, our first need is for security. In the earliest years of life, we desperately need to feel safe. Sure, we need that all along the way, but it's critical when we're really young. That's why mom's loving embrace or dad's strong arms holding us tightly feels so good. We start life really needing people and places that make us feel safe. We want to know who we can count on and who will protect us at all costs. After all, the world's a big place and can look pretty imposing from the tiny viewpoint of a small child. Of course, parents are designed to be key players in this need. They're the ones with the biological assignment to provide us with the security that we need. If that need got met effectively, it likely sets you up for a pretty healthy journey into the next phases of life. But if your security struggled a bit or was even shattered by a parent's absence or mistreatment or whatever, well, that kind of affects you and it makes the rest of life's journey kind of like a game of catch-up. You know, we'll come back to that later on and maybe find some answers to things that are getting in the way of you feeling like you matter now. But once life moves on to school days, we realize there are other people our age. You know, we find ourselves bumping into them everywhere we go. This social phase starts to give shape to the next of our emotional needs, the need of identity. Since we've been surrounded with all these other kids, it's only natural that we figure out how we measure up next to them. So some of us find an identity, like a good student, while someone else thinks himself an athlete and another tries to be a musician. Fact is, most of us tried several of those, and hopefully we found one or two of those we could feel good about. But as a key part of feeling significance as adults can be found in the identities we tried as kids. If we concluded that we weren't good at anything or weren't good at the one thing we really wanted to be good at, well, we probably have a hard time thinking we matter now. Somewhere we have to find that sense of who we are and if we're going to decide that the world needs us, And if things haven't gone well with your security yet, that might have affected how this identity worked out too. After all, if someone who was supposed to be there for us wasn't there, we probably tried to find that identity without their positive input and without their encouragement. If that's you, then significance may be a little bit bigger battle for you now. In part 3, I want to tell you about the third emotional need, the one right before we get to significance. Then we're going to start putting the pieces of this journey together, I promise. Hope you'll join me again.